Radiant team ban.
Alright, and welcome back everybody. You are watching the Premier League Season 3. This is Fnatic versus Empire. And game number 1 was won by Fnatic, so they hold the lead here in Empire. Well, they've got to win here to stay in the match. That said, regardless of the outcome here, both teams will be guaranteed with a spot in the finals, in the playoffs in January. So either way, this will mostly just decide rankings more than anything else. If Fnatic can win this, this will tie up first place with 7 wins out of 9 games, both Fnatic, Dignitas, and Empire. Dirge, though, the first ban here by Fnatic. They will decide to get rid of that very, very quickly. And last match, they actually decide to let, and of course it's a bit of a saying around here that Empire, if you let them get Wisp, you're in for a very rough time. That said, Fnatic, they let through, they said, you know what, have Wisp, have Chaos Knight, have Sven. We're just going to wreck you with a Tiny. Have some fun with that. And I've got to say, not just a Tiny, but of course they basically said, alright, well, if you're going to have Sven, Chaos Knight, and Wisp, we're going to take Enigma, we're going to take Magnus, and we'll take Darkseer, and also throw in a Tiny for good measure in there. And I've got to say, it was really it really only came into play once, that huge combination, but the threat of it was always there. That would have always been playing on Empire's mind, that they always had to be worried about that big AoE, and the blink attacks as well. Of course, they could just start it up at any moment, like we saw in the dying moments of that game, where Magnus used Tiny as bait and then set up a 5-man black hole. A Batrider, the next ban by Empire, they decided they don't want to let Fnatic get their hands on. Of course, Empire actually put Batrider to good use last match, and they went a 1-2-2 with the dual lanes. It was fairly effective. They just had some misplays in the early phase that I think really set them behind initially. It was just some over-aggressive dives there, and Fnatic actually holding their ground quite nicely, racking up quite a few impressive kills. That said, towards the mid-game, Empire definitely found their feet, caused a lot of trouble in that mid-game, got a couple of good wipes in there, which put them actually ahead. Fnatic held the lead for most of the game, but Empire got themselves ahead there towards that late game. But we have the second ban here for Fnatic, and the question is, what will they decide? The question is whether or not Empire can decide to get rid of Tiny this time around, because of course he was a hell of a thing, but I really feel like they might, if they're going to let something through, Tiny will go through, and they're more likely to ban the Magnus or the Darkseer or the Enigma, I feel. One of those three, I think, are the better choices for them to ban here. Tiny is definitely, he hits hard, but I think the real trick here was, of course, the backup he had. Even Shadow Demon, of course, made some clutch plays there with just those right disruption saves. At the right moment, set up fights that had to happen. That said, the final ban here for Empire, and they will ban out Lone Druid. Okay then.
Radiant team pick.
And again, it seems like they're worried about that suicide lane coming under pressure. We'll see. But Fnatic go straight for that Magnus. They will grab him up straight away. However, Empire now with the double pick go for Jakiro along with the Darkseer.
Radiant team pick.
Fnatic now with their own double pick. Now, will they allow? Now, of course, Darkseer is Darkseer, you know, a great buff, and I'm just wondering if they'll be allowed to get their hands on Wisp again. Fnatic, though, might just go for the counter, of course, which was disrupted. They decided to leave that. In fact, they didn't bother with it. They're more interested in that Shadow Demon as a support, which, of course, it did work out quite well. But Fnatic now with their double pick. They picked up the Magnus straight away, and if we see...
10 seconds.
We're probably going to see it in the solo. I get the feeling it's probably going to wind up solo mid again, as we saw, I think it was Fly? I think it was Fly, just opened up straight away with that bottle rush. No, it was Hanny. Hanny played Magnus last match, and he opened straight away. Just did not even eco for the bottle rush. Just said, you know what, screw the eco, and let me just get them. Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's just open up with the bottle. So that's exactly what he did. Just opened up the bottle and started spamming straight away with that shockwave. Just make sure he had his farm rolling. Fnatic, though, going to go into the overtime. It's a fair chunk of their overtime with this double picker as they decide what to grab. Where do they leave here? May be used against them by Empire, of course, with that final pick there. And of course, Empire with a chance to pick and then immediately ban after that pick, so they can pick something and then ban out the counters to it. But we'll see what they've got in mind. They haven't crashed, have they? No, nobody's crashed. Wow, okay, they're going to use all of their reserve time at the moment. Interesting the fact that we're going to have Fnatic have Fly banned tonight, because normally it's Hanny, and in fact you can check out our website. We do have an interview with Hanny saying that he normally mutes everybody while he bans. But Templar Assassin along with the Nyx Assassin. Okay, going for a pair of backstabbing duo. We're going for the backstabbing duo here. Nyx Assassin. Now the question is, it looks like he's probably going to take that support role that we saw and was mostly focused on pushing and get in the middle of a fight and just cause havoc. Now Clink's are the next pick for Empire though. And Clinks, of course, he's one of those heroes, if you give him the correct amount of farm, he does have the fight, but not only can he harass towers and bring down towers fairly quickly with searing arrows, but at the same time, he can also hit really, really hard in that mid game. As long as he gets up, like if he gets that early orchid, he can hit hard, hit like unexpectedly, and tear people apart. Especially, that said though, he's a little bit like, you've got to be careful because Nyx, of course, can shut him down very quick with a bit of burst damage. That is something that Clinks lacks, of course, is health. He's very squishy, unless he's managed to death pact a very large creep. He is fairly squishy, and when you've got burst damage in the form of, say, Nyx, it's fairly easy to pick them off. Chen, though, the next ban there. Broodmother also being banned out by Empire, but Chen and Broodmother banned by these teams last match as well. Broodmother banned by Empire and Chen banned by Fnatic. We'll see what they're worried about here. Of course, Chen an all-around strong hero, and Empire will use him on the occasion that they're allowed to. But I don't think they're going for a Whisper. I think they still could. They could use Clinks as their primary farmer, like Sven was supposed to be the farmer last match, and then run the dual mid with Wisp and Chaos Knight again. Just use them as gankers. That is definitely a possibility. And last match, Chaos Knight, he was more than anything else. He was a ganker. He was not being farmed as a prime farmer. It was Sven. It was all about Sven when it came to the late game firepower. And of course, with the Daedalus, the BKB, and the Mask of Madness, he did hit hard. There is no doubt about it. It's just a tiny hit hard last match. But Shadow Demon being banned up by Fnatic, so it looks like they're not planning on using him this match. We also have Luna banned out as well. Okay.
Radiant team ban.
Excuse me. And the final ban here for Fnatic. We'll see what they decide to get rid of. Empire, though, they're looking probably for another support, along with, I get the feeling Clinks is going to take the mid. That's my gut feeling. Dark's most likely to get on Suicide Solo. And I think they're looking for some kind of safe lane farmer, I get the feeling. Unless they're putting Clinks in a safe lane. I mean, they could be running dual lanes again. They could be running a jungler and a dual mid. That is also a distinct possibility. They could toss in anybody like a Nigma into that jungle, run Jakiro and another hero, say, I mean, again, the Chaos Knight could throw him and Jakiro in the mid. There's a strong dual lane there. Works nicely against Templar Assassin. Throw them mid, and then have Clinks solo the bottom lane against, most likely, in this case, most likely Magnus actually taking that solo lane. Probably going to be Trixie on him. Have Clinks solo against the Magnus, and then have whoever they pick for the jungle, just jungle. Keeper of the Light, though, banned out as the final choice by Empire. Also, Nake's banned out as well by Fnatic. Possible, but I feel unlikely. I feel it would have been an unlikely choice there for Empire.
Sven stands ready.
But Sven the next choice. Okay. Are we going for some kind of offensive tri-lane here with Sven, Nyx, Assassin? Keeper of the Light would have fit into that very nicely, but they won't get their hands on it. Of course, banned out. We'll see what they've got in mind here. I mean, if they wanted to, they could even try Magnus, Sven, and then... No, that wouldn't really work. They don't really have the stun for it. Unless they had another really good range stun that Magnus could then use to get in behind them. But I feel that's doubtful. I guess Magnus probably the suicide lane. Because if they were running an offensive tri-lane, then they could instead throw the Nyx into the safe lane and try and level them up. But I think Magnus will also do good with those levels. So we'll see what they've got in mind. But Empire now, what have they got up their sleeve? They are looking for one more support, and I feel some kind of safe lane farmer, unless Clinks is going there. I mean, they still could do the dual mid and jungler route. Also possible. We'll see what they've got in mind here, and that will probably finally tip their hand as to their idea. Empire, they're going to take their time. Still got a minute of overtime left, so plenty of they've got plenty of chances here to figure out exactly what they want to roll with.
Hey.
Radiant team pick.
But Bane, the final pick, the fourth pick here for Empire. Okay then. Now, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Bane. He takes a very, very skillful hand, and I haven't really seen any... Like, he takes a very specific player, I feel, to play him effectively. There's a lot of opportunity to mess up with him, of course. You can screw up, like, obviously Nightmare. If you don't have, like, near perfect coordination with that, Nightmare is often a double-edged sword. And then, of course...
Dire team pick.
If you ult at the wrong moment, it can be a huge, huge waste. That said, with Enfeeble... I think they've got the possibility, and this could actually be an offense. Oh, no, wait a minute. Alright, we could have Magnus Suicide Lane, Lina possibly in the jungle. They're focusing on pulling. Of course, you can use the Radiant side to pull. Lina cuts down the trees with Light Strike away and just hangs around the mid if she's needed. That would definitely be a nice backup there to have. And then throw Nyx Assassin and Sven into the safe lane. Now, this is going to be somewhat tricky to handle because Sven, of course, is vulnerable to getting harassed. But like we saw last game, even though Darks here, even though like they're all melee, you know, the issue is of course Iron Shell. It hurts. It really hurts. And when you're a melee hero versus Iron Shell, it's very difficult to CS and then not get harassed by it. As we saw last match, in fact, we saw Sven actually die to an Iron Shell which is left on a creep. Razor, though, the final choice here for Empire. Very interesting indeed. Did not expect that at all. Okay then, Razor. Now here's a hero that we do not see all that frequently. Now I think they're quite happy to pick some unusual things here, mostly because, well, this match doesn't actually decide anything and they're just free to use it to experiment. That said, we'll see Funnick on the Bag of Bones here, but Blow Your Brains, they're playing Razor. Okay then. Interesting indeed. Razor, he's definitely going to help out. His ult will help a little bit against Sven's ult, Sven's Warcry, of course. Negative armor is always efficient, but that said, the other way to really put the hurt on Sven, of course, is just the true damage. Just skip right past that armor with, of course, SS there on Bane. That said, this will be an interesting match indeed. We'll see what they've got up their sleeve. See where that Bane goes. But anyway, let me call out the players here. So playing for Fnatic on the Radiant side, we have Fly playing Lina. Like I mentioned, Fly's actually built a Monkey King bar on Lina. Fun stuff. Nozel playing Nyx Assassin, Era on the Sven, Trixie playing Templar Assassin, Hanny on the Magnus. Are they switching lanes here? We'll see. Playing for Empire, we have Goblin on there on the Jakiro, SS playing Bane, Scandal playing Darkseer, Blow Your Brains out on Razor, and Funnick playing the Clinks. We'll see what lanes they decide on as well in a moment. Now, I get the feeling we're going to see some kind of... I think they're going to spend more of their time pulling than actually trying to sit in this lane. Even though they have a lot of offensive fiber, I think they will try and spend most of the time outside of the lane. Unless they... Oh, wait a minute. They may actually have to wait in the lane here because we've got an offensive try-in here from Empire. So it looks like it may need to be all hands on deck, and this is going to be a slight disadvantage here for the Radiant team because they don't have two ranger. In fact, there are going to be two melee heroes up against three range, although kind of a bit of a short range there on Jakiro, but anyway. It is still going to be fairly painful. They have got the ability to harass quite efficiently. It's going to be very difficult to spend to get much farm. That said, this is going to give plenty of time for Templar Assassin to pick up the monies along with Magnus. Assuming Magnus can actually get some farm in the top lane, he might actually get shut down really hard. We'll see by that Darkseer. Although he will have the Shockwave to CS with, so he'll have that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There we go. They have to be careful here. This could be a bit of a pick-off either way. There's a bit of a confusion as whether or not should attack. Ice Path being tossed out. Going to catch both heroes there as they walk into it. Meanwhile, Razor giving chase. It's going to be a bit of harassment in the end. Lina going to eat a tree, and they think about counterattacking, but it's 3v2. Not good odds. Oh, Sven is actually... No, they're thinking about it. Sven changes his mind. They turn around there as Bane has actually gone for the sleep once again. Ice Path again there on Notel. Notel quite happy to bait here. They're just trying to pull Bane out of position. He's out of mana now. There's the stuns getting stacked. Stormbolt as well. Here comes a potential first blood. Ice Path still 4 seconds or could have a bit of body blocking there. They try to give the first blood there to Era. Not going to happen though. Nyx will have to take it in the end though. That's the Ice Path being tossed out again. Lina possible second kill there. Oh, goes for the double stun. It doesn't quite get it. Light Strike away will save Lina's life just barely. They have given a fair amount of damage here. Oh no, Blow Your Brains. One more hit. He gets it. Sven picks up the second kill, and Empire over-aggressive, overextend. Ice Path again. Lina gets hit by it along with Nyx. Nyx though popping the Carapace to collect Godlike in the face. Not a long stun though. Level 1. Not a long duration on stun. Here comes the Stormbolt though. They're going to make it 3. They don't have the mana though there for a third stun. Notel going to focus on body blocking. Sven as well. Here we go. Pops the Carapace. Manages to stun him once again. SS has to back up, and that's 3 for none. I said the Empire trialing should have the advantage, and you know what? Fnatic just make a complete fool of me. Or Empire, whichever way you want to look at it, because I'm going to say they did overextend. Like, they did not need to keep chasing there. They could have just said, alright, we've given away the first blood and then backed off. They did not need to dive that hard against it. But now, Blow Your Brains here. Gonna have to, well, catch up on that farm. Wow. Wow, Fnatic. Opening up with a 3-kill lead, and this is a bit of an issue here. I say this every now and then, but when you go with an offensive trial, the idea is not to fall behind, because once you fall behind, you wind up with 2 very underleveled, a very underfarmed supports who can't even really pull the creep wave to catch up on their farm. And in this case, I mean, this is about the worst start you could have possibly had. That said, at the very least, they're going to have a bit of a lane advantage when it gets to actual harassing and CSing. So maybe that'll be what they need to get back on their feet. And no, this is it. They've immediately gone, alright, this can't work if we try lane. We've got to split up. Godblack's gone back to the top lane. He's going to focus on pulling there and helping out Funnick. And they've just transformed this bottom lane into a dual lane, which in all honesty is not is not a good result for them at all. Now these two heroes very, very vulnerable to the triple stun threat here. As soon as they get their mana up, of course, Sven, the issue, of course, is he has no mana. Right now, and of course, Nick's actually falling quite low as well, but he'll be regenerating a little bit quicker here. It looks, but his stun is considerably cheaper by about a good third of that. And here we go, Empire. Looking for any farm they can find. He's just going to try and jack this creep wave if they can. There we go, some clarity's brought out there to Nyx. Just so we can get offensive, like, so he can basically jump them once again. They know when they're coming too. This is it's good potential to overextend just like this. Somebody's going to get skewered out of position. It's going to be Razor. It's only a short range there on the skewer though. Sleep being used there on Sven. Lina though transfers to herself. Shockwave. Here comes a Storm Bolt. There it is. No, yes, no. Here's the Storm Bolt. Gonna hit him in the, gonna hit him there. I don't know if they can go for it. There's the Impale though to help follow up. Lina throws out the Dragon Slave as well. They will need to back off. They lose Magnus in return, but they're killing Razor. They're probably worth it in the end.
Radiant's top tower.
Magnus actually transferring there from the mid lane. I should have noted there. Trixie actually taking the suicide lane here. And it seems like no matter what hero he's given, Trixie suicides with it. Might need to call a hotline there. But meanwhile, another kill attempt on the bottom lane. This time, though, it's Empire getting aggressive here. It's Era now in trouble. Era, it looks like he's in some serious problems here. Will get taken out there. They get a revenge kill at the very least. And now SS in some serious problems of his own. The auto attack's being used there non-stop as Lina now just needs to turn around. There we go. They will get it in the end now. So I was going to say Lina just needs to turn around and auto attack him back. And they'll win that 2v1. Not good odds for Bane there. Now Era has returned to the lane there. Going to continue that farm. My god. Scandal now backing up once again there. What's he picked up? He has picked up a bottle, or has picked up a health potion as well there, and his boots. Going for tranquil boots, they have just bought up the items for it. Finds himself a regeneration rune, which to stay that. Meanwhile, No Tail going to focus on pulling here. Trixie skulking, looking for a few levels. Trixie doing quite well, in fact. That said, his lane has not been the hardest. Of course, Goblin has been focusing on his farm, he's pulling there in the jungle, and of course he can harass fairly efficiently there with the side blades against Funnick, and also avoid some of the harassment there with his refraction. So Trixie not doing too bad. I mean, it's not the worst of matchups here. It's only when Goblin actually comes in and starts dual breathing him, things get a little bit messy for him. Meanwhile in mid though, Hanny has picked up a smoke there, so he's ready to go and roll on another game. The port's back to bottom once again. Looks like Lina went back to heal up and get some mana, and they are ready to course draw. And there's that ward there as well. Now it says both teams sort of rolling around. Both teams are aware that the other team is there. I think that's both of them ping. So there we go. Now Razor going to try and open up there, but it was indeed bait. Stops the link as well. Disruption. No, not disruption. A nightmare save there. Getting cut short though by a Stormbot. Like I said, Stormbot really does not give a damn what you do. It's coming to hit you. It's coming to beat you up. SS being forced to back off, and I really think Empire need to cut their losses here and just maybe even say Scandal. You know what, we might even need you in this bottom. That said, Scandal is getting some pretty good farm in mid, and like we said, if you can buy time for Darkseid to get that early farm, about 20 minutes, if he's got the pipe, got the mech, he's in a really good position to help out the rest of your team and buy time and just cause a lot of trouble. And Razor, of course, he just needs to bulk up a little bit, just looking for that cheap defensive items. Once he gets them, he can drain a lot of mana there with a lot of damage there with Static Link itself. And now SS caught out once again. Will he fall here? Throws out, not going to happen. In fact, I think he might have even triggered that. Did he go for the... No, didn't get... Oh yeah, no, he went for the brain sap, triggered it, and unfortunately took himself out there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Trixie though, can only farm the top lane fairly well. 33-3 for a suicide lane. That is a very good farm. Meanwhile though, mid lane looks like a bit of trouble. There's Shockwave being tossed out. Fanny though being forced back there. Haystrom being popped there. I think he was trying to bait Scandal and taking too much tower damage there. Scandal though just bottling up again. Should be just fine. In fact, that Ring of Regen actually went into a Soul Ring. Sorry, did not go into Boots of Tranquility. That said, likely to get the Boots of Tranquil Boots anyway. He has got that Ring of Protection still. Meanwhile, Trixie covering his backside there, throwing out some Sonic traps, keeping an eye on what's going on. And there we go, there's that harassment that actually hurts quite badly. Klinkso has picked up his Ring of Aquila, likely going for that Orchid next, and once he gets that, that's where things start to get really dangerous, although there we go, Static Link once again there on Sven. Sven trying to get clear, Light Strike away, misses Lina now. Dragon Slave once again, Nyx now throws out his last stun there. He's got one Carapace in him though. He could try and drop a stun in the middle. This Stormbot goes out for Sven, gonna catch Razor, needs one more here, can he find it? Nightmare to stop it, although it looks like they will transfer it off him there. A Scandal now trying to give chase, although he's getting stopped there. Body blocked by No Tail. Tries to slow him down. Light Strike away there from Lina. Fnatic playing brilliantly there. Gets a save off Aaron now. Gets up enough mana for another Stormbolt. Tries to bait him out of the tower. Gets the Stormbolt off his tower. Can't see him there. They'll pick him off. Scandal goes down. They will trade for a no-tail kill, but they're probably happy with that. Now another static link. Nero needs to break that. You do not want to chase the ranged hero there with a static link. Going to get cancelled though as he throws out the Nightmare there. Aaron now possibly out of position, although here comes Hanny. Hanny giving chase. Shockwaves him down. There goes Razor once again. SS out of position, out of mana, in a lot of trouble. We've got a skewer there to drag SS out of position. The slow once again. No mana left. Lena, though, will get dropped, though, in the end there by Creep. Bit of a mistake. Regardless, though, she wasn't really... I mean, she didn't need to come into that. Anyway, though, they pick off the kill in return. I think that's definitely a good result there for Fnatic. They currently hold a 1,500 gold lead, roughly. Experience-wise, though, we're about 2,500. That said, we've got to keep in mind that Clinks, of course, is farming very well up here in the top lane. 43-1. That said, though, Templar Assassin also farming extremely well herself. 47-7. Trixie actually, but it's not often you see the suicide lane actually win.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, though, at the very least, Empire have busted down an early tower. They took the tier 1 mid tower. And of course, Scandal with its pushing power, fairly irritating for them to try and defend against that. Now, Funnick needs to be careful. He's got a win walk up. He should be okay. Unless Trixie can get the jump on him there. No, he's death packed it up. He will be just fine now. Razor now. I don't know what Razor's going to... In all honesty, Razor, what are you going to do now? Razor has got so... He's under... In fact, let's look at the experience gain here. If I could just find which one. XP per minute. Razor currently... This is the issue with an offensive trial lane. You look at this. Razor, the trial lane. Razor, Empire, SS, as well as Jakiro. They are the four... In the bottom 4 heroes, in terms of experience gain, they are 3 of the lowest. That is not a good sign at all. The only one lower, the only one mixed in there from the rating is, of course, Lena. This is what I mean about these offensive trials. When they backfire horribly. Also, the gold gain as well. You can see again that bottom 4. They make up 3 of them. Once again, same 4 heroes. Slightly different order, but still same 4 heroes. See a bit of surging around here. Empire looking to make a move here. Clink's so well on his way though to getting that Orchid at the moment. Bane now picks up a cloak. I think it's mostly the cloak is just purely for the sheet magic resistance it gives. They will most likely allow Darkseer to finish off the pipe as well as the mech. In fact, there we go. There's the first headdress being brought up right now. Now, Blurrybrain's looking for some opportunity to farm down here. Now, we do have Fiend's Grip up. Now, if anything can turn a fight around down here, it will be a well-timed Fiend Grip. Lena, though, gets a kill there on the top line. Apparently, they got too close. And no, it was in the mid. They got Laguna Blade there. Meanwhile, though, Empire are in some trouble. There we go. Polarity once again. The Clinks will manage to get away, but it looks like Goblin's going to be their target of choice. A couple more auto attacks there. They will clean them up very easily. No counter wards in this jungle, so Clinks will be A-okay. However, he's just going to go and death back some creep to heal up once again. Meanwhile, Bane finds himself a haste. Smokey up as well, looking for a potential gank here. Sven's being quite cautious though, hanging back. Hanny though has picked up his Arcane Boots. It's going to help out a lot, of course, with Sven and as well as Nyx being rather mana hungry. Clink's actually going to go toe to toe here with Trixie. Trixie feels like party, and there we go. Sven comes through, just shockwaves, not quite enough damage. So close. Clink's probably quite... Yes, he had the Death Pact on. Must be counting his lucky stars. Indeed, in fact, they might need to run for it. No, they do not. They were thinking about it, but changed their mind. Clink's will indeed need to go home and go home and heal up. Scandal now headed to the top lane along with Goblin there.
Dire's top tower is under
and there we go.
attack.
Some cheap items there. What is that for Razor coming out? Looks like a magic wand, a bracer, and then... It looks like he will also be building. He just grab. I think that's still gonna. They're still gonna leave it to Darkseer because Darkseer's had some decent farm. As I look, there we go. Fiend's Grip and the Static Link as well. Going to cause a lot of. Here comes the point. It's going to be Magus. Does he have his ult up? No, he doesn't. There's a Stormbolt counterattack though. Fiend's Grip is finished. Now he's trying to run away here. Sven though, no mana for. Oh, he will have mana for a secondary stun. However, the 8 seconds left on cooldown is what's going to prevent him from getting this kill. And again, Razor gets drilled. Oh, I feel bad for him. They just go for these kills every time, and the counterattack from Fnatic is just way too strong. See, both teams throwing down counter wards here in the mid, but however, Radiant will lose theirs. For Empire, their game is pretty much going to come down to the shoulders of Clinks and Clinks and the Darkseer. It's pretty much going to be their whole game plan there. As we see the vacuum back there, but they're still fighting. Here comes the cleave damage there. God's strength as well. Although the save there from SS on himself, nicely done. Shockwave doesn't hit him as well. They will bring down Sven, and a great counter attack there from the Dire team. Empire now finally finding their feet. And there, it's gone. It's gone. Lacuna Blade to finish that. That's it though. It looks like Magnus still in trouble. Tries to juke, forgets the Static Link actually gives vision, if memory serves me correctly. And now the ult there from Blow Your Brain. Light Strike away as well though. Dragon Slave as well, going to cause a lot of Ice Path. Not going to find a Sven that turns around. He's got a Stormbolt coming up, and it's got Jakiro's name and a Goblin's now trying to run away. Stormbolt's up here. No, it's going for Empire. It's going for Blow Your Brain. It's going for the Razor. Ice Path tries to save him. Not enough though. Skewer forwards. No, it's not got time. Bane now teleporting in. Going to get taken out though himself. Possibly a slow there on Goblin. Goblin with the Ice Path again. Will catch Arrow as well as Hanny. Trixie deciding not to drive there. No-Tail tries to trigger the Ice Path damage and stun. Doesn't quite manage to find it though. Jakiro running out of mana. He will pop his magic wand. The push is on. Now the Stormbolt, the Shockwave as well. And SS can they get the burst damage on? Another stun tossed out. And they will get the auto attack. And SS will take a fall there. And now the Surge on Darkseer. No, his vacuums are back. He's got Surge left. Can he get away? No, he can't. He gets brought down there. Vacuum. Iron Shell. Not enough. Doesn't get a chance to Surge. Ice Path again though. Will we lose Trixie? Trixie melts. Dual Breath to finish though. And now Hanny in a bad position. They're going to bottle up. Doesn't have the ability to skewer out at the moment. Has to buy time. Going to throw out a Shockwave there. Just needs to auto attack. Cuts his way free though instead. And now God's Strength from Sven. Sven, no, there's the Electric Tide that will bring down both of them. A double kill there from Razor. Finally something goes Blow Your Brain's way as he gets the team wipe there with a triple kill. Although arguably Empire also got one by one team wiped in the middle of that fight. That said, at the very least, Empire finally gets some traction there. And you see that Radiant drop, that Radiant lead there drop sharply in terms of experience. It is very close now indeed. Gold-wise though, also a similar story. Empire looking a lot less shaky after that. It's the gold per minute finally. There we go. Blow Your Brain so finally getting a respectable gold per minute now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
There we go. Teleport in. Sven though. Can he try and do something around himself though? Looks like he's building towards that armlet. Lena just doing a little bit of warding. I get the feeling that's just out of range. They probably saw him stick it down there. Aaron now in some trouble. Going to bait him there into the trees. Has already Stormbolted though. Has lost all of his damage. I see he's hitting for about 10 damage at the moment, so there's not much you can do to help him push. He's trying to last hit with that. Not happening really at all. He's doing absolutely nothing there. Meanwhile in mid we have got a Nightmare there on Trixie. Can we get some ports in to save his life? 15 script as well. Trixie absorbing most of the damage just now. Vacuum back though. Dual Breath as well. Silence on top of that. Clinks has finished up his Orchid. That's it though. Magnus, no, he hasn't got his Blink Dagger just yet. Still working towards that. He's about 1,000 gold away from that. Fly has picked up his Arcane Boots. They do need some of these fairly badly. Nyx also has his Arcane Boots, and the main thing is here, they've got their good start. In fact, there are levels here. Bane is in trouble here as they're going to transfer that Nightmare as they change. I think it's really nicely done there. You saw what happened there. Hanny threw out all his nukes and said, okay, now I'll take the Nightmare off you, and then transfer the Nightmare to himself and allowed Nyx to get off his stuns. Although Nyx now being silenced as Lena doesn't have the chance to turn a stun. Throws out a stun, but here we go. Clinks giving chase. There we go. One more hit. Lena does get dropped there. Stuns arrows out on Lynx though. On Clinks. And the stacked easy camp is going to go out to Scandal. Just going to jack that there. Skewer forwards there. Going to catch him. Polarity as well. Blow Your Brain's down some serious trouble. Here comes the stun as well. They could throw in another slow or not. They will just finish it there with a meld hit from Templar Assassin. The big worry here, of course, is going to be Funnick. As well as Darkseer has had some decent farm. He's got his mech and he'll be working towards that pipe now as well. Most likely that pipe, I feel. I mean, unless they do tell Razor to build it. Actually, no, it looks like Razor will be building it. Has picked up the Hood of Defiance there, so it looks like Razor will be doing the pipe instead. Of course, can help out his team. He's more, I guess he's transitioned to more of a supportive role for Clinks because, of course, didn't go so well that bottom lane, did it? It's getting fairly close to finishing off this armlet. We'll need some kind of way to purge off the Enfeeble. The Enfeeble is really messing with him at the moment, turning him into pretty much just a 15-second stun. 15-second cooldown on his stun once he gets hit by that Enfeeble. We'll need something to ward against that It is causing some troubles indeed. Now, Goblin has picked up his Shadow Urn and seen the Vendetta coming there. Blink forward there from Trixie. Actually decides not to do the Vendetta backstab damage as they transfer that across. Can they get the kill there? Trixie, if Chase will pick him off there in the end. Now we have the Electric Tide there on No-Tail. The ult there from Boyer Brain as well. Fiend Grip on No-Tail. No-Tail in some serious trouble. Vacuums it back. Wall goes down as well. Danny in some serious trouble. Needs to skewer out. Skewer's out of deep, but it looks like we're going to lose Lena. Lena getting caught out. Tries to throw down her Laguna Blade, I feel, or at least a stun or something. Not going to happen though. And they actually, I think they just recovered a gem there as well. Razor getting his hands on that gem there. And that gem, I think, meant for Clinks. And now, Empire actually picking up the lead for themselves there. Who is that? Instant trouble. He does actually pick off the Magnus there. Funnick, like I said, this guy's kind of scary. Once he gets the ability just to basically dance around the fights and pick people off, it's very difficult to deal with him. There we go. Also a quick Roshan run here as well from Empire. Taking a fair amount of damage, but they've already managed to get rid of all the wards, so no vision here for the Radiant side. Now Scandal going to tank most of this. They're going to have to transfer it back and forth, and it looks like Fnatic will not be wary of this at all. And if they are, there's not much they can do about it at the moment. Magnus is down. That's it though, once Magnus gets his blink, or even if Lena or Nyx get their blinks, that's going to help out a lot when it comes to initiation. And they will give that Aegis there to Empire below your brain there. To the Razor. Now Era still trying to farm down this bottom lane here. She's going to throw down that Stormbolt to get the last of the creep. Realizes he might be in some danger and backing up here. We need some support ASAP though. In fact, he's actually going to teleport out. Realizes the lane is too hot and gets the hell out. In fact, they might just try and trade their tier 1 bottom tower for the tier 1 mid. That's it though, as long as they buy some time, Fnatic aren't in too much trouble yet. As long as they buy some time, of course, Sven can hit really, really hard and can be exactly what they need here to bring him down. That said, here we go, they're getting ready to fight. Here, the port in by Darkseid, may regret this. There we go, strength as well. Too many nukes, but alright then. Nightmare now, as looks like they're going to transfer it back and forth. Trixie going to accept it now, as looks like Vendetta being used there by Nyx, just mostly for the threat, more than anything else, although they do have a gem. We've got to keep this in mind. Counter Ward's also thrown an SS now moving up. Going to throw in another Counter Ward there. No-Tail now, backing up. We see another stun get tossed out there. Light Striker right, also looking for a target, doesn't find anything though. Razor moving in, still has that gem, has finished off drums as well. Funnick now, going to pick up that Death Pact. Now, Clinks, of course, is kind of squishy, so as long as Finn gets his crits and finds a chance to put his damage there on top of Clinks, he can get rid of him very, very quickly. You see No-Tail actually Vendettering the Ursus there, mostly just to pull more than anything else. He's not too worried. Pretty much for Nyx at the moment. Vendetta is less about the backstab damage, the burst damage, and more about positioning. And there we go, armlet done for Sven. So he has actually got a fair amount of damage now as well. As of course attack speed, hardly useful as well. But that said, could definitely do with the crits. The crits are pretty much what makes Sven. The ability is to dish out huge, and I mean huge burst crits. Of course, the attack speed's always nice as well if you can find that mask. Time to get the Mask of Madness. Might even, I get the feeling though he wants the BKB in here somewhere though. Just because the Enfeebles are really, really rough, as well as the Nightmares. Really, really rough stuff. And we see Sun trapped in front of it. Get vision now. Goblin in some trouble there. Going to throw the Ice Path. Going to get two heroes. Lena though throws out Laguna Blade. They will pick off the Darks here. Buys back though. They immediately snap both Bane as well as Jakiro after that. A buyback there for Scandal. Scandal back in the mix there. Macropar really not doing a whole lot now. Funnick getting in the mix here. Can they bring him down? Silencer on No-Tail. Funnick now trying to disengage there. Can he get away? No-Tail though getting the silence off and finally. And it looks like Funnick will manage to escape just barely there. Meanwhile, Sven healing up there with the urn, and it looks like they're going to pick off Trixie. Trixie just cannot really find much of an opportunity to get away here. Going to try and get away. Not going to happen though. The Iron Shell is too much for him. He cannot blink away even with a refraction defending himself. Of course, it does get triggered through the refraction, the blink cooldown. Darkseid though, actually going for a BKB maybe? Could be a BKB. I get the feeling if it was, then Argon Scepter would have gone for that first. Meanwhile, somebody's deep behind enemy lines here. It's Bunnick, and he's looking for a potential kill here. Not really finding one though. He's looking for Lena. Most likely. Lena, probably less so Nyx there. Oh no, maybe Nyx. Nyx of course taking a lot of damage there. And once that silence, there we go, snaps him. Nyx of course very, very squishy. And with the silence on, has no chance to escape at all. They do need some defensive wards up indeed. And Funny's just going to keep doing that. Just keep running around sniping off heroes like that. And now we go, the dual gank here. Going to try and pop this one down on Sven. Fiend's Grip as well. The slow, basically the whole time here next to the Iron Shell is what's going to do the job here. Sven now going to pop his up. Going to try and get away. Not going to happen though. Gets vacuumed back there and an easy pick off. No ports come to save him. And this is where Fnatic's game, I think, starts to fall apart. The pickoffs that Empire can run here, the constant ganking scenarios that they can run, is really going to put a crimp on how much Fnatic can farm, and it really makes Lina, as well as Nyx even, have to play really defensive, especially since they gave away that really early gem. Razor now. His Pipe of Insight is done. And this is a complete turnaround from the start of the game indeed, so though it looks like our Trixie going to try and get the hits in here. We've got to keep in mind though, they do have a lot of physical damage. Fly though, getting hit there by that Nightmare. So Razor may actually get away here. No, we have a blink coming up in 4 seconds, unless we can get a slowdown, or at least something to knock off the blink. Trixie thinks about blinking in. Goes the wrong direction. Meanwhile, it looks like Funnick now hunting No-Tail. No-Tail, though, sees Funnick. Can he get the stun down on him? This is what he needs. Lina, though, getting silenced there. The Shockwave comes out as well. Can they get the final? Yes, they do finish him there, indeed. Shockwave, as well as Skill, are going to do the job there. And they get a well-needed kill there on Funnick. Can't allow him to go unchecked forever. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin still behind enemy lines herself. Finds a double damage rune. Looks like she could be building. I mean, this could be either way. It could be a BKB. Could be a Stygian Desolator. We'll see later. Shockwave again in the mid there. Impale as well. So Trixie's just going to get a little bit of farm time here. It looks like Fnatic, they're just going to cool their Jets a little bit. Just try and get their farm back on track. Because unlike last game, they don't really have that huge ace up their sleeve, which was Tiny running around with a Midas. Just tearing up the farm, which is, you know, it always was a good advantage for Fnatic last match. In fact, they had Tiny free farming the whole time. That they don't have this game. And in fact, it's quite the opposite. It's Clinks who's been free farming. Of course, he's been doing a fair amount of ganking though as well, just of course running around sniping heroes off, but he has been getting these moments where he can just get this farm in. Obviously he doesn't have that huge Midas to his advantage, but still, being left alone like this is dangerous when Fnatic don't have the same answer. They're always worry about having their carry ganked. Now Drum's also being picked up by Sven there as well. And now Magnus has a blink. Now this is definitely going to get dangerous here for Empire. The fact that Magnus, of course, can kickstart these fights now. That said, though, it can backfire horribly, of course, if Clinks can pick off somebody in the back line that they're expected to come forward and throw in the stuns. But that said, of course, Sven is probably going to be the primary follow-up there with the Stormbolt. We'll see, though, in a second. They're just sitting around here, getting ready to gank. They don't have any counter detection. I mean, they could be getting scouted by Clinks right now, and they wouldn't even know. They do have one counter ward, but they're not using it just yet. Clinks actually in the jungle farming away. Clinks has finished up a BKB. That could be dangerous indeed. That said, of course, they do have Superior Magic Stun, which will help at the very least.
Under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Now we have the Nightmare there on Trixie. Then, oh wow, counter ward toss down there as well. And they're going to pick it up. Magnus blinks in, gets 3 men on his polarity. Here comes Sven. Stormbolt going, he gets silenced. Can't Stormbolt, doesn't matter. Gets off the God Strength and just gets a triple kill there. Cleaves them down. Going for 4, doesn't quite get it. Sven goes down though. It's Klinkso going for the revenge kills here. Can he get them? He's running for his life. They think they've recovered the... Oh, yes they have. There's the gem. And in the end there, 4 for 2. I think a worthy trade there, although Sven, before he went down, he took a triple kill with him, so can't be too displeased with that. They're also going to go for a tower here as well. Now who's just skulking about? Is Klink still skulking about down there? Meanwhile, Tower 2 going down as well. Klink's looking for the ability to find something else. Finds himself in Invis, somewhat redundant. But the Glyph will not be able to protect this tower here. Well, Klink's just going to go, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go farm. I think he's waiting for a potential counterattack. If somebody comes in here by themselves and they're weak, he'll probably try and pick him up. I mean, here we go. Magnus or Lina definitely vulnerable unless they run as a group. Obviously, they run in a pack like this. Klink's won't be able to do a whole lot solo against that. And in fact, Klink's needs to be careful. They can see him here. They're going to turn around. I think he realized, holy crap, they can see me. And remember that actually one of them has a gem there. Now we've got another slow coming up. No, it's just out of range. Decides not to pop it. They remember that they recovered Razor's gem, which was, I think, it was a Radiant gem initially. Now Lena, actually they're trying to save him there with those Sonic traps. Lena should be able to back up here. Got the arcane boots. Trixie also on a hand. Did go for a BKB, not the glass cannon stitching Desolator, which is, I think, I do prefer the BKB over the Desolator, to be honest. Especially since they don't have any huge, like, massive armor auras on this team. I mean, if we had Sven on the Empire's team, then yeah, I'd think twice about it, because of course having that big negative armor hit there would be a big deal. Razor, though, again continuing to tank up. Has picked up a vitality booster as well in the meantime. Era, on the other hand, Assault coming up potentially. Yeah, it must be an Assault. No real other reason to get that plate mail for him. I mean, you could buy Shivas, but it would be a hell of a waste of money. A 3k advantage to the Radiant side once again. Experience-wise, fairly even Steven, slightly favouring the Dire, not by much though. And this is just because they've been utilising the jungle more, just running around, pulling that sort of stuff. Whereas Fnatic have had to be a lot more cautious. Now we're going to see Goblin, though, in a lot of trouble there. Impale Vendetta all over his stuff. It's an easy kill. In fact, Bane managing to juke away there from that Sonic trap. But Templar Assassin picking up a kill there in the mid. And in all honesty, Jakiro did not need to come out that far. There we go. Magnus actually, okay, looks like he might be doing the Lincoln Sphere once again. Okay, I'm honestly not a huge fan of the item, but Hanny seems to love it. Meanwhile, though, we've got the Roshan run here from the Radiant team. Now, will the Dire respond? The Dire do have the firepower, I think, although Jakiro is actually dead. He might be back up in time. Now, it looks like they were just warding. They were just warding, going to scout it out, check out the enemy, see if they've got any wards. Since we see Razor just check things out inside the pit. Just going to toss out his nuke there, the Nova, just to check out what's going on in there. Smoke, though, from... It looks like they were trying to bait them into coming into there. They're going to smoke around, possibly from the back, hoping that someone's going to be looking around there. Their master plan is undone by the fact, though, that Empire have not taken the bait. But I solely believe that was their hope. They went in there hoping that Empire would respond and think that they might be Roshan, but of course Empire they thought they might be, but they came in and just checked very simply and safely over the cliff rather than face checking, just charging there with their faces and checking. I know everybody's going to hate this, but I think the League of Legends term is quite appropriate. That's it, they go for it anyway. Clinks is in there, God Strength now, but we get a silence down in time and Error. Error, though, there's the polarity. Laguna Blade as well. Stormbolt's going to come out in a second. Skewer on Scandal. Scandal, though, going to get taken out. No, not quite. He's getting, yes, Stormbolt to finish him off there. He got the stun off from the Ice Path just in time, but here we go. Tide, Beam Grip there. We're going to have the static link there on Trixie once again. As here we go, Beam Grip once again getting tossed out there. SSO gets picked off too quickly. Meanwhile, though, it looks like we are going to pick off Goblin in the meantime, along with possibly No-Tail Fly. No-Tail trying to get out here. Good stun there from both of them, though. Now Racer trying to get free. Hanny, though, will he give chase? They find themselves invisibility. It looks like they're just going to let Razor go there, as Trixie does in the end pick off. Does in the end manage to pick off Jakiro there. It looks like they may just turn around and go, you know what, let's screw it. Let's just go and get rid of Roshan here. Might as well. We've got the chance to do it. Trixie going to tank for a little while while Era gets a bit of health back there. Going to armlet up. There we go. Should be a fairly easy job for them to finish this off with meld armor hit there. Meanwhile, Razor performing the great escape with nobody chasing him. Just going to teleport out there. What's he buying there? Blade of Alacrity. We'll see what he goes for. I mean, that could even be a diffusal blade just for the double purge effect. In fact, that is something Sven wants to avoid doing, hitting Razor with his Storm, targeting Razor with his Storm, just because the Purge is annoying. Not so much, not God's Strength, I'm pretty sure it's unpurgeable, mostly because it gets rid of his armor buff. It doesn't want to lose that, as well as the Empower. Magnus is throwing that at Sven at all times, pretty much, so doesn't want to lose those buffs, so it will come very handy just purging him there, getting rid of those buffs. Now, we'll see what he goes for with the Alacrity, but I feel like it might be. That said, it could well be. It could. We've seen everything from Sanjin Yasha on Razor to Mana Styles, so it could be any of those as well. Quite possible indeed. Darkseer, though, okay, he is going for. Okay, then he is indeed going for the Argon Scepter on the Darkseer. Opened up with the Ogre Club instead of the usual point booster, but regardless, that's what he's going for. Templar Assassin now building a Bariza. And here we go. A Nyx Assassin has also picked the Ghost Scepter, of course, very, very helpful against Clinks. Both Clinks, mainly Clinks, but also, of course, Razor as well. But I think mainly Clinks is the big deal there. Now we get the stun open up there on SS. Now we've got it jumping in the Ice Path, though. Going to catch Jakiro because he hits the Carapace there as well. They're going to charge forward there with skill. Going to catch both of them. Did they throw out a Polarity? Yes, they did. Scandal down a bad situation. The stuns get tossed in there as well to follow up. And that's pretty much an easy wipe there. 3-man wipe there for Fnatic. What items have we got coming? Meanwhile, though, Razor trying to push his lane alone. Not really going to happen. The port's coming in to defend. Let's bring the item chart, though. In fact, they're going to chase. Razor not going to hit by that, though. Going to try and teleport out. Should be able to escape here. Trixie not going to see him in time there. And just bring up this item chart here. Nothing much new for anybody, really. Just a couple of Ghost Scepters here and there. And, of course, the Crystallis there on Templar Assassin. But otherwise, not a whole lot. Magnus, though, getting close to finishing off his Lincoln Spear if he wants it. And there was a Yasha in the end. Then we'll see if he goes for the Sands Yasha or if he goes for the Manta style. I've seen both of them on Razors. Really depends what they feel like. I mean, either. I mean, Sands Yasha is a much maligned item, but on a few heroes such as Dragon Knight, and I feel Razor is one of them. It's not a terrible item. He needs Oz, especially when you need a cheap alternative because he got rocked really hard at the start of the game. It is not a bad alternative to bring up with because he needs it. He can do with the health. He can do with the attack speed, he can do with the movement speed, it stacks really nicely with him, and of course the slow. If he procs the slow, it buys him so much extra static link time, so it's not a bad item on him. And when you need something cheap and effective, you can build up in little parts just to get yourself back on track. It is definitely a viable choice, I feel. I know everybody's going to erupt in the chat now saying, noob, 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 noob. Why would you ever build S and Y? I'm just saying, it's not a bad item. We do see pro players build it every now and then, particularly the S and Y. On Dragon Knight. It does get picked up every now and then on the in the Southeast Asian scene. Meanwhile, though, we will see Funnick continuing to dent pack his way through the jungle. Also building his own breezer there. His Daedalus on the way. Crystallis being built. Trixie skulking about, though, looking for a potential kill. We've got some everybody, and when I say reinforcements, I think the entire team. Bring the cavalry here. And then we got Lee. Oh, they get the slow down on Razor. You see, he's so quick anyway, but they're going to open up there with an Impale. Going to set things up. There's the mana burn as well. Vacuum back. Very good vacuum into the wall as well as the Ice Path. Nicely done, but will it be enough to save them? Meanwhile, though, it looks like Nyx is about to fall down. Lena gets slammed there. Lena is down and out for the count now as well, but Sven now looking for Sven looking to bring down Funny. Changes his mind though. Ice Path does stop. The Cleave though brings down Jakira, not even targeted. Bounces it off the creep, and of course the lower armor on the creep actually increases the damage of the Cleave. And now No-Tail's still in the mix here. He's going to try and pick off Scandal. There's the Impale. Once it misses the Impale. Carapace to stun there for a brief second there. A triple kill for Sven once again, but Razor now trying to turn things around. Going for the double, and Sven now will fall here. No, pops the armlet once again. He's going to try and take Funnick with him though. Not going to happen though.
I'm still here.
Sven though going to pop back up. Of course he does actually have. And here we go. Pops the Warcry there. He's going to try and take him out. There's the attack speed. Once again, he's got the Assault Cruise. And now we've got Hanny comes back to try and help him out. Can he get one? He gets one. Can he get two? Stormbolt for two. Fnatic error. Picks up a pair of kills. Recovers a gem. Ballsy play indeed. But it works. It pays off. They get that wipe that they wanted there. And a buyback from Razor. Oh, that's expensive. He was hoping that Sven would be in here farming, but doesn't find him in there. He was hoping, in fact, to get the gem, I think. That was a pretty big waste there from Razor.
Regeneration.
Lucky find there. Picks himself up a regeneration. Meanwhile, Lena in the bottom lane. Lena becoming a little bit too squishy these fights. Fairly quick to fall. Now, Magnus has indeed finished off that Lincoln Sphere. Lena, well, I wonder if I'm just wondering, will Fly build? No, if he was, he might actually be going. Don't you know? What, transfers a gem? Yeah, transfers a gem there. I was wondering if he was going to buy himself a Blink Dagger. I mean, he's saving up. If Fly decides to do his build there, he'll go for a Blink Dagger and then he'll try and grab himself a Monkey King bar after. And it's just basically he gets a huge attack speed buff, so why not build some raw damage? Get those mini stuns in there. It's always hilarious to see them get rapidly procced off by a Lena of all heroes. But the Blink Dagger is mostly for mobility, just getting into the right position to stun. Does Static Link work with Naga's sleep? I do not think so. I'm pretty sure if you sleep, it will cancel it and you can't target them if they are slept. I'm 99% sure that's the case. Could be wrong though. I'm often wrong. Klinkster looking for a pickup here on Trixie. Trixie actually, no, you know what? He should be okay. Trixie should be just fine. No tails here as well. Klinks will actually need to be careful himself. Klink's actually just doing a fair amount of scanning. Klinks though needs to be careful, mostly because it's a gem on the Dire team. Sorry, on the Radiant team rather. Who's been given to Magnus now carrying it? It's been transferred over to him. Of course, he's quite tanky. 1900 health and a Blinking Sphere and a Blink. He's fairly hard to pin down there. Now they're going to go for this top tower. Trixie, though, is the bait here. He's just going to shoot down this tower. Scandal now moving forward. Ice path there on Trixie. They need to be careful. They don't have to commit because here we go. Hanny's getting ready for it. Although no tower's going to be the opening salvo here. The wall gets tossed down. Macropire not well placed at all, I'm going to say. There we go. Stormbolt there on Goblin. Goblin down struggle. Fiend's Grip, though, very well placed there. That could have been a better blink there from Hanny there, as it looks like they will lose spin in the middle of that fight. That's going to be their firepower. Got Trixie likely to fall soon. They needed to cancel that. They really need to cancel that Fiend's Grip there. Unfortunately, Hanny was short with the blink. Needed to go there and drag everybody in like that, rather than here and then just dragging from there. And in the end, a good result for Empire. Empire find themselves a 3-for-1 trade. Good result for them. Exactly what they need to keep themselves on their feet here. 7.5k, roughly 7.5k gold advantage here to the Radiant side, along with a 10,000 experience lead. You remember, for all the things that have gone wrong for Empire this match, they caught up magnificently in the mid game at some degree, and also Clinks has free farm. I keep bringing up Clinks' free farm like we did last match, you know. Last match as well. Tiny was free farm, Clinks is free farm this match, and he's looking mighty strong here, and he's almost got enough. In fact, here's another kill for him. There we go. Silence. Oh, wait, no. Silence. There's the silence. He was waiting for it, and there we go. Lena doesn't last long enough. Will get picked off. She gets sent out to her. Was on the courier. She was trying to get some wards out there. Just wondering if she had that blink up and running yet. Looks like she's spent some money on the wards there, and there we go. Funnick just going to harass the tower, then back off. Meanwhile, the pressure is on mid. They've got an opportunity to knock down this mid tower fairly easily. Still 5 seconds down to spend. More time than it'll take to knock this down. There we go. An easy tower down. They couldn't even try and put a lot of pressure on the tier 2 as well, although... Yeah, I think they could. Lena's still down for 20 seconds. They don't really want to fight a 4v5 up there, especially with Clinks in the shape that he is, but they need to be very careful about protecting Sven. Sven doesn't have that BKB. It really could use that BKB. No, he's gone for the Daedalus first. It's going to come down that Sven has to be protected. It's the same situation as last match, that they've got to protect Sven with the stuns. Last match they were protecting Tiny with the stuns. This match, got to keep Sven alive in these fights. Make sure he's not getting drilled. Like when they allowed that last fight, it all went to hell because they allowed Fiend's Grip to go out to its full duration there on Era and tear him apart. There we go. Argonym stepped on Darkseid. That's the other thing he's going to be very careful about, not walking into those walls. Argonym stepped there on Darkseid. Sven's illusion is going to wreck people, so must be very cautious about that. Otherwise, could undo his team basically for all the buffs and stuff he's throwing out there. Could get messy very quickly. Sven, though, going to be doing about 300 a swing there with the Empower once he finishes off the Bariza. Funnick, though, skulking about there. His own crits are done. There's his Daedalus finished. How far away is Sven? Sven still needs a recipe. Although, that said, Trixie's finished his own there. Sven still needs a recipe along with the Demon's Edge. He's fairly close to Demon's Edge, though. So he's around about 1,500 gold away from it. Blue Brain coming in. It looks like they might be looking for killing him, though. It doesn't come quite close enough, though. I hear Clink's working on Roshan, though. There we go. He is drilling that down fairly quick. They want to try and stop this. I don't know if they can, though. You have to get there in quick with the blink and ult there from Magus. Can he get here in time? Nixo going to try and start the show there. Do they get a steal in there? They do. Templar Assassin gets a steal there. Against the Assassin, picked up by Trixie there as a Roshan. No, it wasn't a steal, just a steal. They got the Roshan kill as well. The Radiant picked it up. Now the kills there as well. They pick off at both Funnick as well. Funnick goes down as well as we've lost Twin-Headed Dragon. Bane along with the Darks. He only Razor survives. And by survives, I mean a short reprieve there as he's about to die horribly. There we go. The mana burn, they're not really needed. But Stormbolt, double stuns there. An easy kill. A team wipe, a Roshan steal, and an Aegis steal. My god. Fnatic with the balls there, get the big plays happening, and they just Templar. I don't think did they even get a stun in there. Templar Assassin just jumped in, took it, and then took the kill. Then took the Aegis. You see, oh, that's mine. You see that kill? It's mine. Just crush it in the palm of her hand.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And this is most likely. I mean, this is without a doubt. This is a Rax. I mean, they could go for no. They could potentially swing for 2. We're going to have Bane up in a second, but the big hitter here, of course, Clink's down for a good 30 seconds. That's the big deal. In fact, they might even just try and go for the throne. We'll see in a second here. No, they are going to sweep. They get the melee Rax here. They go straight for this tower here. They know they want to run for this. They recover the gem even as well. Fnatic getting their hands back on that. Here we go. Tower down. Rax going down as well. A double ult. No, Glyph might buy enough time here. Darkseid can get here. He doesn't have his ult up though for another 20 seconds. No, it won't be enough time here. Still 30 seconds on Razor, 10 seconds on Kling, so just need to focus on the Rax here, finish this off. Tempo Assassin will get this or not. Greedy, greedy, greedy. They want to finish this here. Well, it looks like they're going to pick off Scandal once again. They need to finish this Rax. There we go. Taking it down. The Era also going to help get rid of the range one. Will they decide to go for it? Looks like they will. Enfeebled there on Sven. Sven not having a whole lot of damage there. And there we go. GG is called. Fnatic take a 2-0 sweep against Empire. Empire, probably the nastiest team in the business right now. Fnatic taking a 2-0 sweep. And I've got to say, they played a hell of a game here. I guess the odd misplay in this match here. You know, a couple of moments there, of course, where Hanny made a slight misplay there with his ult, sort of business, that sort of business. But overall, really strong game here from Fnatic. I'm going to say Empire slightly off their game. In game number 1, they made some really dodgy dives. They ended up giving away a lot of early kills. In game 2, again, their offensive try fell apart so quickly. That said, Empire showed their stuff and came back. I mean, made a hell of a comeback. Look at this chart here. I'm going to bring this up before we go. I can't see it anymore, damn it. Well, basically, it was very underrated, but they brought it back for a while. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That will be the Premier League for tonight. I will be looking for any of you shortly, so stay around for that. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and we will be back in January with the playoffs. Of course, you will get to see Fnatic and Empire right again. They will be both playing in the playoffs there, so stay tuned for that. January will be our next series of games, but I hope you all have a good Christmas. I'm going to have a crap one. I'm going to be seeing my mother.